I think a lot about climate change. I often wonder what others around my age in my supposedly bike-friendly, progressive community think about these things. Downtown, on campus, around the cafes in my neighborhood, are we all feeling the same way?
Very important.
I think this is very important.
It's the most important issue.
It's probably important.
It's very important. Yeah, it's on a scale of 1 to 10, it's 10.
Probably more for the next generation than mine, considering I'm in my 40s.
Extremely important. Very, very important.
It's important, yeah.
Everyone should know about it, even if they don't care about it.
Pretty important.
Even if you're not committed to believing that it's something that's going on and something you should do something about, you should at least know about it so that you know what you're disagreeing with.
If you're going to talk about any kind of politics, you got to talk about climate change, I think.
Everyone knows it's wrong, but everyone's making too much money to correct it.
Medium importance.
Very important.
Extremely important.
Not the most pressing important issue.
I think it's a critically important issue.
It's clear that climate change is happening.
I'm just not totally convinced that we have a huge impact on the grand scheme of weather.
It's something that enters into many different facets of our lives, including some that perhaps you might not necessarily directly connect with climate change.
So many major consequences that are happening because of it.
It's affecting our food security, our water availability.
Ocean temperatures rising and sea levels rising.
It's unfairly affecting impoverished countries that had nothing to do with contributing to the climate change.
Increase in global temperature, and I think as the permafrost is melting, we're getting insane diseases that are becoming unfrozen, that could really harm us.
We decided to go with fossil fuels because we could make more money off of it, opposed to free energy, and I think that we're all fucked now.
This is not something that's happening in the future, it's happening right now, and if ignoring it is no longer an option.
I don't really know because I'm not a scientist.
We need to reduce carbon emissions. It's the main thing. That's where most of it is coming from.
Space is negative and it's all a vacuum. Can we crack open the ozone and suck all that shit out and close it back up? I don't know.
Something that I've been thinking about for a while is reducing the amount of plastic usage.
Solar energy is definitely the way to go.
Even nuclear energy, even though it's not safe and all that, better than I think dirty oil.
You have to change yourself. You can buy an apple from Chile, you can buy grapes from South Africa. You should buy food from here, from where you live.
It's just consciousness, being aware of it.
People should know more about what actually makes an effect on reversing certain signs of climate change. Like maybe instead of turning off the water, you should not eat meat or something, or not give air miles as an incentive to live more greener lifestyle.
Recycling as much as possible and just lowering our emissions.
Recycling is not enough anymore. It's a nice idea. I recycle, obviously, but I've become discouraged with those kind of efforts because individual citizens, I don't think, can affect the change required at this point. I think it needs to be policy, high-level government changes, industry changes, and sanctions.
Lots of things need to happen. It's scary.
It takes a lot of investment for a government to implement something that can really help it.
Even just little things, it doesn't have to be some grand gesture or anything.
I think everyone can help out by, using less water, not buying bottled water, simple recycling, maybe walk to work one day or take the transit one day. I think it's all little things that add up, but everyone has to do it.
The combination of everyone working together can then push government to make bigger changes.
I think it has to be different components working together, like government, businesses, corporations, individuals.
The government and the major corporations need to be setting some guidelines that instruct and help the people. We can't do it all just from choosing to be vegetarian or choosing not to drive our car. It's not going to have enough of an impact.
It has to be a community working together.
I don't drive a car.
I stubbornly refuse to get a driver's license.
I try not to drive, I guess, as much as I can.
I own a Prius.
One car, which is a lot more cars than we probably should have, but that's for a family of 4 with 2 people, both who have careers.
I've been trying to recycle more each year.
We try to get things used. That tends to work really well.
My immediate community, most of us have kind of flipped over being vegetarian in the last 5 years.
We subscribe to a local box scheme, vegetable box scheme, so that all of our vegetables come from very nearby.
I would not travel to Asia during summertime.
In our family, we don't use the dryer most of the year, certainly not in the summer.
The summer is very warm, too warm, and also very polluted and very humid.
I recycle everything. I ride my bike.
I try to walk, ride my bike, always turning off lights.
I bike to work every day, bike home.
I try to bike more instead of driving.
I ride my bicycle, but I also have like a 79 Dodge Tradesman, which is like a gas guzzler. I don't drive around the city, but I'll take it, on trips and traveling. So that's not good.
I smoke, which is bad, obviously. I throw my cigarettes away, it doesn't really help.
I travel quite a bit for work, which doesn't have a very great impact on the environment, I appreciate.
The little things that I do might be more to like pat myself on the back and be like, oh, okay, so I'm one of those good people.
I should probably do more, to be honest.
I overindulge with water in the shower. I think about that all the time.
I wouldn't say that I make a huge sacrifices in my life.
Because I find myself in green community, I tend to adapt their habits, but I don't think about it as much as I maybe should.
I bring my own bags to go grocery shopping again. Some of it almost seems like kind of cultural. You don't want to be shamed at the grocery store asking for a plastic bag. I don't know if it actually changes in climate change.
A small, really small impact, but I would say yes.
I think so. I'd like to hope so. I don't know, I guess I'm optimistic.
I think there's structural changes that need to be taking place. I would say on an individual level, there isn't much that can be done.
Not really. No, I don't, but I think that's no excuse anyway. I think it's important that individuals do what they can simply because it keeps you engaged with the issue. And if you're not engaged with the issue, you really won't make a difference.
Well, I'd like to think so, but on the grander scale, it's pretty minute, It's pretty insignificant, but at the same time, if I wasn't doing it, then I'd be neglecting my beliefs and I'd be neglecting this planet, right? So it is important.
No, but I'm not trying to change the world. I'm trying to change myself. And then when I change, then maybe the people around me, they will change too.
Everyone's looking at their neighbor, everyone's looking at each other, so if you wanted to be somebody who wants to set an example, then yes, that's how change happens. I mean, that's how all revolutions start, with one person, an idea, a group of people, which turns to a population of people, so definitely.
I don't know. Can't hurt.
I've never really sat down and tried to make a really strong opinion, unfortunately. I feel bad now.
We all do things that match our beliefs, even if individually it doesn't have any wider impact.
It's the ripple thing, like, no, I'm a drop in the bucket and we're probably really screwed.
Well, everybody would have to do that to have any sort of an impact. It's a drop in the bucket.
It's drops in a giant pond, right?
It's a drop in
I wish I could do more,
and a
who knows what to do.
In the pond. And the pond fills the river, and what becomes a mighty ocean.
That's it.
Started as a drop